Welcome to the journey with Luna Caravan. My name is Mei. Today I am going to go into the topic of the spiritual rebirth. I wrote an article. I was hoping to just deliver this message off the top of my head. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna go that direction, although I wrote an article. So I'm going to just read it, sort of like an audio book situation, but audio article. And if you want to read the original article, that is on my website at lunacaravan.com, because reading is still alive and well. We like to read, and that's the original form. It's just like it came straight through me, like it went through me and into this device. Oh my god. Into the laptop. Okay, let's begin. Chronicles of Rebirth. Everyone is born at least once. Our first birth is the obvious one. That is when we came into the world in our physical body as a newborn baby. For some people, it stops right there. They are here for one temporary lifetime to experience life as a human being. They make friends, they go to work, buy a house, and they find a partner and start a life and build a family together, and all is wonderful. Everything is perfect, and that is fine. That is their path. It's not everyone else's path, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But there are some other folks, for some other of us, we are here for something more. We are always called to a purpose. It's an inexplicable purpose, a mission. There's an incessant calling that won't leave us alone until we learn to pick it up. Hi. And these are the people who are blessed to witness a second birth. This is the birth of their spiritual body. When you rebirth into your spiritual body, you will undergo an experience as if you're back into the maternal womb. It is as if you are aware of your existence in the world, but also acutely aware that you're not a part of it. It's like you're separate from it. You feel a disconnection, like you are not yet where you are meant to be. And that makes a lot of sense, right? Like when you are in your mother's womb, you are in the world, but not in it yet. This is the incubation period. This is where you are being incubated away before you emerge into the world. I just totally jumped ahead. Let me get back into the video. Let me get back into the article. You are incubated from what is waiting ahead of you. Just as a child in a mother's womb doesn't know what is yet to come, we also have no idea what is waiting for us after we emerge on the other side of the portal. In this time, you are called to shed, to release, and to deconstruct your entire identity as you know it. You are not the identity that you chose for your body. You are not a mother, a partner, a friend, a member of society, or any of the identity that ties you to this material world. You begin again from the void, from nothing, like the universe itself. There is an incubation period before you are born into your spiritual body. You are at this time in self-sustenance mode. Just as you are back in the mother's womb, your only job is to exist. And I wrote this in capitalized letter. Your existence is enough. I want you to treat yourself with the same gentleness and compassion of an unborn child at this time. This is also part of the inner child healing that we go through before we emerge into the spiritual body. Just as you would not expect a newborn child to be resourceful and contribute to the world, allow yourself the same privilege as much as you can. a feeling of self-judgment will inevitably creep in because we begin to question ourselves. Who are we if we are not our task? Who are we if we are not the relationships that we have built? Who are we if we're not contributing to the world in a meaningful way? And I want you to hear this. You are worthy of being loved and valued and provided for in this world just because you exist. It is literally your birthright. In this phase of life, you will also experience something darker. You will hear an overwhelming voice every day that tells you nothing matters. You won't be motivated to exert yourself to do anything because at this time, you are primarily tasked with conserving your life force. That's the only thing that you need to do at this point, is literally survive, literally to conserve your energy. None of the things you used to care about is going to stir you the same way that it used to. It feels like you are suspended in a void, even though you can detect and you can sense the environment around you. You can see, hear, and touch the objects, but it won't feel real, or it would feel like it's empty matter. I really want to draw attention to this because this is a topic that sits really close to my heart, because this phenomenon is so often misdiagnosed as depression. Because when you go through a phase in your life where you feel like nothing matters, that is the medical symptoms of depression. Because when I've gone through this, nobody around me could tell me what was going on. No one around me could tell me what was wrong with me, and they wanted to help. But the only thing they knew how to do was to refer me to get medical help. And okay, and what do you know? You have depression, and here are some pills. So I was prescribed on antidepressants for a while. I took it for a while. And what does that do? Nothing. It just made me feel more numb. And I just knew that wasn't the solution. It didn't feel like it was the right thing to do. And so I allowed my intuition to guide me, and I eventually just decided I'm not going to be on antidepressants anymore. Because the problem, it was never medical. It was always spiritual. It is so hard to grasp at something when you cannot prove it or explain it. And I truly hope that this message reached the right people and shed some light to anyone who is going through a similar situation or experiencing the same thing. This incubation period, I believe, is what most people experience when they're going through the dark night of the soul. And many times I've referred to that myself too, that I'm going through my dark night of the soul. And you begin to be aware of your separation from the material world. You start forming new sensory receptors to the things that once used to bring you pleasure. You have to step away from all of that in order to rebuild your self-conceptual identity. And you're going to build that up again from scratch, from nothing. You are no longer the person you used to be, but you're also not quite yet at your final version. It is as if our spirit has exited our body and is waiting to come back into our body once our body is ready. When our spirit finally finds the body that we are meant to have, we will recognize it instantly. We will be completely transformed into a whole new person at the end of this spiritual pilgrimage. Your soul returns back to your body little by little as you find yourself. And then on one glorious day at the end of this journey, and you're gonna look back and then you realize that you are found. I think that is one of the most amazing feeling ever, and I hope that everyone that's on their awakening experience gets to go through this. You are right there all along, and it will feel like you have finally found your way home. Well, that was pretty fun. I went off script a lot more than I thought I would, but that just means you're getting a little bit extra from me. Thank you guys for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.